Well, today I'm trying to do different intros every time instead of the same another episode of. So today,
I think we should make like at least something canonical.
Canonical, canonically incorrect.
I guess something canonically incorrect. Correct?
So
not incorrect, correct for once.
For once, correct. So this is our weekly podcast. Canonically.
Oh, you did the whole bit by yourself.
Canonically, yeah. Whatever you want to call it, incorrect. And this is a podcast about mainly nerd things. Video games is always a highlight. Comics, anime, cartoons.
Anything that's recent coming out events.
Usually a short news or what's going on type thing. I'm one of your co-hosts. I'm Zach.
And I'm Eugene.
And for those of you who don't know, each week we do a episode that's themed.
Most of the time,
Most of the time. Well, have we ever missed an episode?
The first episode.
Pilot? Yeah. The pilot was not themed. That's true. I guess it was like summer, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it was our test to see what we needed to do.
So, this week's theme is overpowered characters.
Overpowered characters, yeah.
So, just for those of you who don't know, we have like a little formula we do as we go through any news, and then we go through Geek Potpourri, which is anything random stuff we've been doing.
Yeah.
And then finally we get to the meat of the discussion. So, before that, and we're going to move on to the news, I do want to mention we are moving forward with, we're trying to expand the thing. Adding more people, adding other things. I know Choi Boy had mentioned that he likes more movies than he does
the geek culture.
Yeah, I mean he knows geek culture,
geek culture, definitely.
But he likes movies, and so he might want to join in on the spin-off we're doing. We don't know the exact name of it. I'm trying to come up with it. I got a bunch. I'm trying to keep it in the incorrect family. It might be horrifically incorrect.
Historically incorrect? No, that's not right.
But it's going to be on cinema and with a focus on the horror genre. So another idea I came up with was 2-bit horror. I thought it was funny. So we're still thinking... Still mulling over some different names. Also, just a heads up, we are streaming. We were streaming once a week.
Every Friday.
Now we're adding on... Sunday, which... so yeah, we're going to try to do every Friday and Sunday, and we'll probably even add...
another day eventually, as we get this going, as we get more and more used to this.
Yeah. Because streaming is... First off, it's fun. I mean, it's raw.
It's fun, yes.
It's straight up being a nerd, so...
It's straight up being an idiot online. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what last Friday was all about.
Yeah, last Friday was fun. We actually had a decent amount of viewers come in and talk. And
then we had, like, one of them join us.
Yeah.
They're, like, free for you to join us and play with us. Yeah. We don't mind.
Yeah, we're cool. Friday as is, unless we change it. We're trying to do every Friday. We'll be focusing on Paladins.
Paladins every Friday, and Sunday would be one of those, like... weird nights that we play whatever we feel like.
Yeah, whatever we feel like. If we find something that we really feel is stream worthy, we might change it. Either it could be that Friday or we could make it that Sunday. We don't know.
We don't know. Sunday's more experimental. Friday's just Paladins, at least as of this current episode.
Yeah. So check it out. Check us out this Friday. We usually air this on Thursday, right? So
Thursday. Yeah, usually.
So you should be listening to this on Thursday. I mean today, because we never record behind. We're always recording on the exact day we release this.
I mean, for the past few days, it was just about.
Yeah. But if you're listening to this, you should see a Twitter thing, which I'm gonna go ahead and plug in. Follow us on Twitter at canon_incorrect. All one word.
And our Twitch is canon incorrect. One word.
Yeah, if that's not confusing enough. We always post the stuff in the link in the
thing. I should actually update the thumbnail to include our Twitch name now.
Yeah, so we'll work on that. It should be in the YouTube video, which hopefully you have open right now as you're listening to this.
I mean, how else would they do it? I mean, I guess you could download it.
I'm currently looking at other ways to disseminate this, to get this out there further.
Yeah.
There's a few sites. It's like $10 a month to host your thing there.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, but like
I figured we'd move on to that the moment we get more people, honestly.
Yeah, and also we're trying to kind of we're still finding our footing, right? We're not.
I mean, we sort of found our footing. We know what we want.
Yeah.
We're just not there yet.
Yeah. We're kind of trying to become like a media type thing where we're not just podcasting, we're streaming, podcasting, eventually doing video, like little skits, like mini skits.
Oh, it's going to be, you know what we should do, which when we get more people? Patreon, probably.
Oh, yeah, Patreon. So you can fund my terrible, terrible habit of
buying media stuff without any consequences.
Yeah. Well, like I just bought a mic. And I don't have the money to buy a mic. I mean, it's a cheap mic, but still, I don't have that money.
It's better than like what's going to happen last Friday, generally.
Yeah, it should be a lot better. So, I do have a mic, which will also help with the spin-off podcast that we're doing. And a few other things we're going to start reviewing. So that'll help with that.
Yeah, that'll help with that.
We'll talk more about that.
Probably off screen mostly, but we'll be probably transparent.
Oh, yeah. And so anyway, catch us on streaming, catch us on Twitter. We're trying to get out there, I know. We're not very big right now, but...
I mean, I'm happy to hit double digits, to be honest.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, like so we were ecstatic that we had like 6 people at one point, drop in and like.
Oh no, I was ecstatic for that. My goal was like 10 people, please.
Yeah, so I mean, we're small.
We're getting there.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and we'll move on to, I guess, actual news. Is there any actual news you can think of?
Not really. I mean, no, not really. Any news for you?
Let's see. No, I mean nothing major. I guess this is kind of news. I don't know if it is still. IGN had a little scandal with one of their reviews on YouTube.
I forgot about that.
On Dead Cells, apparently
he copied some YouTube channel, something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's like Boomstick or something like that's the name of the YouTube channel.
I don't remember.
Don't quote me on that. Anyway, so he basically copied the review, not verbatim, but it's pretty damning.
I heard like it was almost like word for word at some points.
Yeah, I mean he uses a lot of the same words and descriptions. Like you can say like, I don't know, it's pretty damning.
It's like taking someone's homework and changing it enough to not be exactly the same.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they did. Which is fine. That happens all the time. But usually you give credit. And here's the implications that this has. Did this person actually play the game, or is he just watching reviews and saying he played the game?
Yeah. And most of our reviews is we'll give it or we won't give any at all.
Yeah, we always. I don't review anything I've never played.
And it's not like all our reviews are never objective based. They're always biased to what we like.
Yeah. So, I mean, we only review things that we're not really a review channel.
I know, but sometimes we do that in some.
Yeah, well, that's our benefit because because of that, we only really review games that we really want to,
or because we're doing for an episode.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. But yeah, so the IGN thing, big scandal. What else? This isn't really geek news, but did anyone else hear about I tweeted it out about that guy who stole an airplane?
Oh, I heard about it. I don't know too much details about it, actually.
Yeah, this mechanic, he stole an airplane, and he's like a mechanic or something like that, and he just started flying it. He stole a jetliner. I'm not talking about like a private plane. I'm talking about a giant jetliner like a passenger plane. He stole it. And he was driving around. He was talking to air control, and it's kind of sad and funny at the same time because some of the stuff he says, like he wanted to know how he can do a barrel roll. Unfortunately, it did end in tragedy because he did crash, and I believe he did die. They called it a suicide.
Yeah, I can see that. So
I'm guessing you only use that language if the person himself died. So
yeah,
I did tweet that out a little bit. I tweeted on that. So maybe that's another reason to follow. Other than that, I got no news.
Yeah, I got no real news.
Okay, let's move on to Geek Potpourri, which is random shit we've been doing throughout the week.
I've been playing Blazer Tag because the new DLC came out again for that.
All right.
And, well, game's stupid. That's how much I gotta tell you. I mean, like, Marvel stupid.
Like, fun or not fun stupid?
Yes.
So what did the DLC add?
So it added basically 9 new characters, and some of them are the fuck broken.
Oh,
I mean, but the game's broken too. That's the thing.
And this is the new BlazBlue, the newest one.
The newest one that's out. Yeah.
So you've been playing that. Adding how many new characters? 9.
Yeah, I added 9, which is like wait, what? You know? What I mean?
That's a little much to add all at once. I can see balancing being an issue when you add 9.
Yeah, and they haven't even balanced it yet. So like, I'm like, is shit from before that was broken, and then you add more broken shit on top of that? Please fix.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been playing Blaze Blue?
Yeah, I mean, I love it and I hate it at the same time.
Cool. Anything else?
Not really. I mean, that's the only really big potpourri or geek potpourri I've been doing.
Yeah. For me, I've been rewatching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah, I'm rewatching the original Power. Well, not the original.
You're not watching Sentai, I guess,
because it's Sentai. I think it's like season 16 originally,
something like that, or 8. I don't remember.
For those of you who don't know, though, which was me until like a year or so ago. Stupidly enough, I did not realize that the Power Rangers was literally the same show as Super Sentai. Like,
it's just that they took the fight scenes and cut it in.
Yeah, I thought it was like a different show. I'm like, okay, we just Americanized it. I don't know why I thought this, because rewatching it's obvious.
I think when you were younger, you didn't think about it, but then like until somebody points it out.
So what Saban did, the company, the American company, is they bought basically the rights to like the season 16 of Super Sentai, and they just took, like Eugene said, they just took the action scenes.
Fun fact, what's that one guy? The big guy that's in the first season?
The big guy, Tommy?
No, not the Power Ranger, but he's one of the two duos.
Oh, Bulk and Skull.
Yeah, the big guy, right?
Bulk, yeah.
He apparently owns the Power Ranger franchise. I don't know if you know that.
Good on him. That makes sense.
At least in America.
Because he's been in a lot of the seasons. So.
Yeah, so like he's been, helping direct it and stuff, which is why he's also in a lot of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if like owns the right route, but like he does a lot.
Yeah.
He has a lot of power for it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's really cheesy, obviously. I can do a whole episode just Power Rangers. Like we can talk about how the Yellow Ranger Trini in the American version. Well, if you notice in the action scenes, you might see that the Yellow Ranger is packing something below the waist.
I have not seen it in a while,
because in the Japanese version, the Yellow Ranger was a dude.
Yeah, I know that.
And so the action scenes are that of a dude in a yellow suit, and you can see a bulge.
I don't know. I don't remember that, but I'll have to watch it again.
Which is also why the Pink Ranger is the only one with a skirt. It kind of makes sense. Why would the Yellow Ranger have a skirt?
Oh,
so
I didn't even think about that, but that makes a whole lot of sense.
I got a lot of stuff. Well, we should make an episode eventually on Power Rangers or Sentai. Toku was the genre called Tokuetsu or something like that?
Oh, I don't remember the genre. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It means like basically it's like it's the genre that Kamen Riders are part of, where you're like dressing up in stuff and fighting giant monsters with giant robots.
We should do an episode of that. That would be fun.
That would be fun. We might do an episode on that.
We would have to watch Power Rangers all over again.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm starting Mighty Morphin.
I might have to start with the Sentai so we can at least contrast them.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. I've been doing that. I tried Mew Legends.
Oh, yeah.
Not a great game.
I saw the reviews for that. I'm like,
no, it's not good. It's not good at all. I was like, an MMORPG that has Diablo-like stuff. No, not good.
You kind of shot that quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't do either good. It doesn't do MMORPGs good, and doesn't do Diablo good. So
I mean, I'm okay when they do two things okay, because it makes for a pretty good game at that point.
Yeah.
But I'd rather it be like good for
Yeah, it's a bad game. Because Eugene and I were talking about maybe streaming it. We're not going to. I was bored out to tears within 2 hours of playing. I pushed through because I like to try at least 3 or 4 hours before I give up.
I think that's the same with Buzz. If we ever give a player a bad game, we at least put 2 hours into the game.
Yeah. I mean, you can't just play in that.
Yeah.
Which is stupid because, honestly, that's a whole other discussion. I feel like if a game can't capture you in the first hour, that's a flaw in the game, I feel like.
I think depending on the game, really.
Yeah,
like if it's a story-driven game, it needs to capture you within the first 30 minutes, I feel like.
Right, yeah.
I feel like at least somehow pull you in. I feel like fighting games, because they are something that you have to study, they can take a while before they pull you in.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And like Diablo MMO, that should take 2 hours at most.
Yeah, and it doesn't pull me in, which is a shame. I've also played Bless Online, which pretty much had the same effect. Of course, you can check the reviews on Bless Online. Anyway, so that's it. All I have for Geek Potpourri, watching Power Rangers.
I think we should probably do an episode of that. Maybe not next week, because we should.
We want to do our due diligence and research.
That way it feels more research for this episode.
Yeah, plus I want to have stuff open so we can actually make sure we're not misquoting things and all that.
Yeah, I mean, because this is something that I feel like we have to put time into.
I know this is a shocker for people, but a lot of the stuff is from the top of my head. Like we have computers and yet we never use them.
I mean, a lot of it's for me is I make sure to do a slight research beforehand.
Yeah.
And sometimes I kind of forget.
I'm just a myriad of useless information in my head. So, anyway, this week's episode, overpowered characters.
So when we say overpowered, there's two ways we consider overpowered in this episode: overpowered in their universe, or just flat out overpowered.
Yeah, so like, doesn't matter what universe we're talking about. And there's a certain person that I think we both can agree, no matter what universe, is the most overpowered.
There's two people, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about overpowered characters, just a background, why we view them as such, who they are, what makes them overpowered, and maybe we'll talk about if because there's good overpowered characters.
I mean, I think we're talking about good and bad today.
Yeah,
really.
we're talking about mostly good and bad, not just like bad uses of overpower. I mean, there are some.
I mean, you guys should know, like probably older Superman, where he literally cannot be stopped unless it's kryptonite.
We'll talk about Superman.
I know, we will.
So, I actually have my list is broken down into like 3 categories. I have anime, comics, and video games.
We'll start off with the comics because that's something I don't have a lot into.
Okay.
And I know this is something that you really want to talk about.
Yeah, so let's start with the number 1, and this is going to surprise a lot of people. But it's not Superman. Superman's not overpowered at all. Now, he was, as Eugene mentioned, in the Silver Age, which is like...
I didn't remember what the age was.
Pre-1986. Pre-1986, Superman was pretty OP. He used to sneeze galaxies away. Let that sink in.
Yeah, I remember that. That's what I'm saying, like, he was probably poorly written.
So, Silver Age Superman, definitely overpowered. Probably one of the most overpowered characters. But people tend to latch onto that type of Superman, like that Silver Age Superman. They still say he's overpowered, but there's a lot of people more powerful than Superman in the comics. So he can't be. By default, he can't be. He is definitely one of the most powerful Earth heroes, like that calls Earth his home.
Okay, that's a good point.
But there's like gods and like divine beings, the one above all, which is like the god of gods, and
don't forget about
Spectre. Yeah. They're overpowered. He's a god of vengeance, or the spirit of vengeance. So there's a lot of overpowered people. Superman's up there in power, but he's not the tippy top.
Yeah,
as he
that's
is.
Not overpowered in that case. Yeah.
As he is. Superman as he is not, and I feel like that's people use that as an excuse not to read Superman. They're like, he's too strong, which is going to bring up who I put for my number 2 spot. Batman.
Wait, who'd you put number 1?
No one.
No.
I haven't gone. I'll tell you my number 1 in a second. I'm going backwards.
Okay, you're going backwards?
I'm going backwards. There is no, because it was kind of trick out. I said Superman, and it's like, nope, he's not overpowered. Batman, though, is.
I do agree.
Batman is the single most overpowered character in DC.
You know what his actual power is, I say?
Whatever.
The ability to not lose.
Yeah, seriously. Batman is so OP.
Like, it's like he has everything. Like, yeah, I agree on that.
And people always go, I don't like Superman because he's so powerful. I'm like, oh yeah, be like Batman, a guy who's a normal dude, who's super rich, has all these supermodels, never loses, is able to fight alongside with Superman, the Flash, Green Lantern, and he has no powers.
I mean, like, theoretically, he should not be able to touch the Flash or Superman.
Yeah, he should get his ass kicked every single time.
Like if Superman wanted to, and the Flash, they could kill Batman before he can even think about doing what he wants to do.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how smart you are, you can't react faster than
a bullet.
Yeah, or the speed of light.
Like, I mean, that's even faster. I'm just saying a bullet.
Yeah. So, yeah, Batman's weakness should be bullets.
But it's not.
But for whatever reason, it's not. And you'll always have some people go, but, there's instances where... No, let me put it this way. Whenever you talk to a Batman fan and ask them who would win, Batman or Superman, they will say that Superman would get his ass kicked every time, which goes to show you how overpowered Batman kind of is.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Batman, and if you said that, I'm like, well, in the comic story, it would be Batman because he has that, but like in reality...
It should be Superman.
It should be Superman, yeah.
But yeah, so Batman is, I think, one of the most overpowered characters in comics.
Fair enough.
He's a Mary Sue.
He's definitely a Mary Sue level.
I don't hate him, but I don't like what he's become.
I don't like him at all because of that. But
I like the idea of Batman. I just don't like how writers treat Batman.
Fair enough. That's a good point to put out.
I like the idea that he's a normal dude in a cool costume that has a bunch of cool gadgets, but I don't like that he's a Mary Sue because writers self-insert, you know?
Yeah, he's like, well, I gotta fight some. Well, I have kryptonite. Just happened right here.
Yes, Batman's best taking out street thugs and criminal bosses like Two-Face and the Riddler. They don't have any powers. When you have them fight against Darkseid,
yeah, I know.
that's when you run. Yeah, so I don't hate Batman. I just don't like what they do with him. How he's in everything, and because he's in everything, he's inherently overpowered.
Fair enough. That's a good. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So now my number one. Batman's the honorable mention. My number one. This is pretty. It's kind of cheating. That's kind of my thing, though. The author. The author is the most powerful thing in comics.
Technically, that's in Deadpool. You're right. Because outside of like having the author, like as a character in a sense, because of Deadpool, it's now legitimately character because of that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the author can do anything. They can make any hero beat any hero.
You're not incorrect.
I mean, case in point, we talked about how Batman can beat Superman in some cases. All they have to do is like write Superman out of character and being dumb. So the author
Batman just has kryptonite barrier all of a sudden.
And the authors do this all the time. That's why you have these fights in the comic book world, who would beat who, and they have these arguments because it depends on the author.
Yeah, that's definitely true. That
depends on it. I mean, in a would have, should have, could have, Superman should always beat Batman, except for maybe the one time where he accidentally trips over a kryptonite rock. I don't know.
I mean, the one time that Batman's actually prepared for the fight, like meeting at sundown, and Batman already has like a kryptonite barrier.
Yeah, but I mean, if Superman knows what's coming on, he'd just wear lead anyway. But
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's like, you know, people always get upset and you go, oh, well, Batman can prepare. Well, if Batman can prep, then why can't Superman?
Yeah, I know.
So Superman would wear his lead suit, which makes kryptonite not work on him.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, at that point, that whole thing, the kryptonite would work, but yeah, you're still with that argument.
Yeah, so anyway, the author. The author is the number one, overpowered.
I could definitely put that.
Authors in anything, they always overwrite. You know, I mean, that's true in manga and a lot.
That's true in anything, yeah really.
Because they're literally the god of that comic.
They are the god of the comic, and like you said, Deadpool made that natural character in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, Deadpool's one of those characters. He's self-aware. He knows
that everything's a comic.
Yeah.
So, like, in a sense, that is technically a character.
Yeah. Also, Gwenpool, who's a whole other character, not related to Deadpool. Her last name is Poole.
Yeah.
So it's not like, anyway.
That'd be a totally different episode.
But, so breaking the fourth wall is a big thing in comics these days. She-Hulk does it, too. So,
I didn't know She-Hulk did it.
Yeah, she does it. I don't know if she still does it, but she used to in, like, the early 90s.
Okay.
All the time. And a lot of times characters in her comics would also break the fourth wall. So, So that's my comic. That's my comic list, which I know you didn't have any in comics. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, I knew people who are overpowered. I agree, Batman on that list, but like, I couldn't put any input on that.
Yeah, I mean, I add a lot. I can add a lot, but I'm not going to. I mean, comics are my thing, obviously, but I'm not going to go into detail about.
We'll have one episode just dedicated to Zach talking about what he. Actually, we should probably do that.
Yeah, maybe.
Every so often.
Yeah, focused episodes like that. Anyway, so that's the overpowered for my list for comics. So let's move on to
anime and manga, because that's kind of the next closest thing.
Anime and manga. Yeah, I mean, it's Japanese comics. So.
Yeah, it really is. Let's not lie.
All right, so who do you got, Eugene?
So I guess for the first one, everyone knows this.
Probably.
Yeah, One Punch Man.
Yeah, he's literally the most. He's the one I was talking about, who is the most overpowered in all universes.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, and the thing is, right? As an idea, his idea is boring and broken. Right? Like, he's a guy who could literally one punch anything to death, no matter what. Kind of boring. But like, the author wrote him in such a way that it's not so bad.
His overpoweredness is part of who he is.
Yeah, like, it's part of who he is, and I mean, sure, that's dumb, right? But
it's actually a weakness. His overpoweredness is actually his weakness.
But at the same time, yes, it's definitely his weakness.
Because he's so bored, because he's so powerful that he'll gimp himself, he'll weaken himself so he can actually have a challenge.
And so, like, the story is not just about this guy who's overpowered. It's about him struggling how overpowered he is.
Yeah, he's just bored with life, kind of.
Yeah, so So I think that's like one great way to write a character.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. It's a character who can do anything and beat anyone with one punch. How boring would his life be?
Yeah, right. And I like that. Right. It's not about how powerful he is at this point. It's about how bored he is.
Also, I love how this is not really spoiled because it's like first episode. Like how no one knows how powerful he really is, except for a couple. Like everyone thinks he's like a C-list hero, and he's really the most powerful hero ever.
Oh man, have you actually read the manga?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
No,
I know about the head hero, the number one hero. Yes.
Or the number 4.
Yeah, there's number 4. Yeah, number 4. I know about his thing. Yeah. So yeah, I love.
I mean, like the art is great at this, right?
Yeah, it's a comedy.
He even wrote what's it called, Psychomob 100.
Oh yeah, he's the author who wrote Psychomob.
Yeah, and that guy's even powerful in his universe.
Yeah.
The reason why he's not powerful is that he's very timid, doesn't know what to do. And he wants to become popular. That's his entire goal.
Yeah, like a vain reason for having power.
Yeah, so like I said, it becomes comical because of that.
Seems like this author is pretty good at writing.
He's pretty good at writing overpowered characters, which is nice to see that most people can't do.
Here's a guilty secret of mine. I love overpowered characters.
I mean, I love it when they're done
in a good way.
When they're done right? Which is why when I saw Saitama, I'm like, orgasm.
Yeah, I like overpowered characters when done right. I don't like them when they're like Mary Sue. There's a difference between Mary Sue and overpowered, which we'll talk about later.
Well, in fact, we're talking about the good overpowered now.
Yeah, really.
The other one is in My Hero Academia.
God, so those two shows, if you haven't noticed, these are two animes we keep mentioning.
But because they're done right.
Yeah, far they're done right.
And the fact that they're also both superhero based is kind of coincident in this case.
Yeah.
Like you could My Hero Academia has the two strongest is All for One and One for All.
Yeah.
That's confusing as that is.
Yeah, but for those who don't know, that's the Three Musketeers motto. To All for One, One for All. Yeah.
And my favorite is 4 for 4. Wendy's, please sponsor us.
Wendy's. We're hungry for sponsors.
But the other one is My Hero Academia, and I'd put both of them on that list.
One for All and All for One.
They're both on that top of the list. Like at least when they're in the prime.
For those you know, One for All is All Might.
All Might, and All for One is
I can't pronounce his name because I don't know Japanese.
Oh crap! I forgot his name.
But yeah, so he's the big bad that recently was revealed in the anime.
Yeah, and their powers are essentially the same, which is kind of why I kind of put them.
They were once the same power.
Yeah, which is why I kind of put them into the same group too.
Yeah.
And the only two people that could touch each other are each other at their prime.
Yeah. So at their prime, we're talking about prime because when My Hero Academia starts, All Might, All Might, he was injured by, they don't reveal who yet, but you can probably guess who based on what we're talking about. He's injured by a very powerful person, which weakens him. He can only maintain his superpowered form for like 5 minutes.
So, it's 5 minutes, that's right.
And he's not even as powerful as he normally is, and then he gets even weaker after something happens. I don't want to spoil even the
We're not going to spoil, we're just only going to talk about these two characters in this case.
Yeah, so All Might's awesome. He's basically the Superman of the My Hero Academia universe.
What I think he's well written too, because instead of how strong he is, and they don't have to show it off repeatedly.
He is so powerful. His punches literally are like hurricanes.
They're hurricanes, and the story isn't about him, and so I'm glad to keep it tasteful by telling you how strong he is without having to write that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, All Might is the hero of the times, and
you know how strong he definitely is.
Yeah, and you do see him cut loose in 2 fights.
Yes, 2 fights.
Fighting against the Nomu, which is a mutant thing that's designed to fight against him, and then the fight against One for All.
Yeah. So I do really like those two a lot, and then after those two, there's a big gap.
Yeah, because they got number Endeavor is supposed to be the number 2,
but his power is sure he's strong. Don't get me wrong.
His power is all right. His power is firepower,
but he's stronger. That's the thing.
Yeah,
right? But I'm saying don't get me wrong. He's strong, but not as strong as All Might by far.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. So yeah, My Hero Academia definitely with All Might and One for All for One,
and they wrote him well. They didn't have to show off everything like Superman.
Yeah.
He wasn't used as a crutch.
Right.
He's used as a device to show how strong Deku can become.
Yeah, I mean the point is that he uses one finger. Deku, who uses one finger, he breaks his own finger and just flicks his finger, and it's able to just create enough force to destroy ice and the ground and all that with one finger.
Yeah,
So imagine if All Might is basically a version of Deku who can control it, and he can do...
Yeah, so I think that's what the whole point of All Might is. And like I said, they did a great job of showing him off.
Yeah.
Without having to, like, be like, oh, it's a crushed Till.
Yeah. Plus, he's just a cool character. He's written well.
His
real form is just, like, super surprising.
Yeah, I think that's what he would actually look like if he didn't have that power.
Well, I also remember he's emaciated because of the injury.
Oh, yeah, that's right, too. Yeah.
They mentioned that because that's part of the reason why he looks like that is because of the injury to his stomach.
So, any good Overpowered you want to talk about?
In the anime world?
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess this isn't really, like, over... Well, he kind of is. Goku.
Yeah. I mean, no, you know who actually is? I would put on honorable mention.
Huh.
Frieza. Before the
yeah.
Because Frieza's where it's supposed to end.
Yeah, Frieza is supposed to be where Dragon Ball Z ended.
Yeah. So that's why I was gonna put him in the honorable mention.
Yeah, because Frieza is like, every time you think that they're strong enough to take on Frieza, Frieza's like, oh, I'm just kidding. I have another 20,000 forms.
And he's an asshole too, and I love that.
Yeah.
And then even then in Dragon Ball Super,
yeah,
it took Goku like this many years to get this strong. It's like he's like, I got 6 months and I got this.
Yeah, because I love that in Super because Frieza's like, I should probably train, and he just trains for like a few months.
Yeah, and he's like almost strong as Goku.
Yeah, he's actually technically stronger, but remember he has a weakness because he didn't master. His power is stronger, but his endurance is not.
Yeah, his endurance is not, and I love that about Frieza, which is why I could put it as an honorable mention.
Yeah, Frieza. Yeah. I mean, Goku. Really, any of the top Saiyans in general.
I mean, their ability is overpowered in that world, definitely.
Which the new movie coming out is supposed to explain kind of why Saiyans are so strong. Because there's supposed to be a reason. There's a reason why. I think Akira Toriyama's like, shit, Saiyans are getting out of control. We should probably talk about why. We should probably so he's gonna rewrite it and make like Saiyans some like god race. I'm sure, but
yeah, I mean. I do hate that a lot.
Well, at least it'll satisfy my autism. Because why are these aliens so powerful?
I mean, I understand why, like, at the start he did it. Because he was supposed to end it quickly. And it wasn't supposed to be no more than that.
Yeah.
But the fact is, like, I think the fact that he had to continue...
Once he continued past the Frieza saga, he wrote
himself into a corner. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to blame Akira Toriyama on that part.
Yeah, it's really the editors and the fans at the time because they wanted more.
Yeah, so I'm not going to blame Akira Toriyama for overpowering the Saiyans.
Yeah.
I mean, to also degree Cell.
Yeah. And then regeneration became the thing in Dragon Ball, like because Cell can regenerate, and was like, oh, that's cool. Let's make Boo regenerate, and so it just to me it lessened the impact because it's like, great, you beat the bad guy, but he just regenerates. What's the point? You want to make him so badass he doesn't need to regenerate. Yeah,
I know. That's what I liked about Frieza a lot too. And
he couldn't regenerate. Frieza couldn't regenerate.
The only thing he could regenerate was like his tail
when he transformed.
Yeah,
but once he was in his final form, he wouldn't be able to. It's because it's part of his thing. Frieza's transformations are also different than most people's transformations. His final transformation is actually his true form. His transformations are actually limiters.
It's like he's metamorphing.
Yeah, he puts limiters on himself to make himself weaker, so he doesn't accidentally destroy the ground he walks on. This is how overpowered he was supposed to be.
Yeah, and like I said, I love that about that. And so I guess the badly overpowered for me.
Yeah, we'll go bad. Go ahead and mention that.
So the bad overpowered, I love the series when it was at the start, but it got to the point where Sharingan and Naruto got overpowered.
Yeah.
That's disappointing, but he knows.
Yeah, Naruto had so much potential, especially the first half before the Shippuden or second part.
And I guess before they overused the Sharingan tail.
Yeah, but even then, I can get around Sharingan to some extent. But then they started going into more detail what the Sharingan can do. Like, now it can create, like, it can do anything. It's a god thing.
I mean,
I was okay with the Sharingan that can copy.
I thought that was, like, a bit overpowered in that universe, right?
It's still very overpowered. I could live with it, is what I'm saying.
Oh, fair enough. But I did not like what it also evolved into. Like,
it can do anything. You name it. It can make a fire that can burn through anything. It
made an ability so you could overtake the Earth for a bit, which was like the last arc.
You can hypnotize someone perfectly. It made the ability to literally obliterate and send someone to a dimensional, like, destroy. You can literally look at someone and destroy whatever you look at.
Or you could also revive the dead or something like that.
It had all these different powers and it became ridiculously stupid. So the Sharingan really...
Sharingan, and then, like, they're also like, oh, fuck, I have to somehow make Naruto be able to fight this. And so Naruto became overpowered because of the fact that Arthur made this Sharingan overpowered.
The last time Naruto was cool, like the character, wasn't overpowered, but like just strong enough, was when he first discovered Sage Mode.
Yeah, I agree on
He
the
was
same
kind of a
much.
badass, you know, when he fought against Pain.
It was himself fighting on the line, and it's something that Jiraiya gave to him.
Yeah,
and
it was like as a student of Jiraiya, it was great to see him activate this like Jiraiya technique and like be able to fight against this really powerful person.
And it's like what made Jiraiya overpowered in that universe, but the fact is, like, it's something that you could attain through hard work.
Yeah, and it still grounded him. Like, Naruto wasn't, like, disintegrating things by looking at him. He had to, like, still use ninja techniques, like summoning scrolls to summon his frogs, or he still had to rely on his taijutsu, and he had a special ability where, like, he can, like, the energy can extend from his hands invisibly or whatever. Yeah, so he had longer reach.
That's what I liked about the old Naruto, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But, like, then they bring out Sharingan.
Once the third war begins, that's when it goes downhill.
I mean, that's when it definitely went downhill, but anytime they bring up the Sharingan, I'm just kind of disappointed.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, the second half of Naruto's downhill, but there's a few up points. But once the third Ninja War starts, there's really nothing.
There's nothing to say. Okay,
there's no up point. Because I said Sage Mode was an up point. Like, when he revealed his Sage Mode.
Okay, fair enough. I do agree Sage Point was an up point.
That was a great entrance. He enters in, the city has been destroyed, and he's just, like, on the top of a giant frog. And
he lost his master, too.
Yeah, on this wearing this awesome uniform that's a mix of his dad and Jiraiya.
I don't know if you know this, but Jiraiya's my favorite character.
Oh, Jiraiya's my favorite character, too. I love Jiraiya.
I love Jiraiya. Like, even though he's supposed to be, like, a perv and stupid, but at the same time when he's serious, oh, God.
Yeah, so, I agree. Naruto
and
Sasuke really overpowered, not just in that universe, but if you put them up, they literally become essentially gods by the end of the series.
They do, and then they write Boruto again, and I want to see how strong they were, so I watched a little bit. They look kind of nerfed their problem, like, wait, what? No.
Well, you have to, what else can you do?
Yeah, I know, right?
Which makes no sense. That's the problem. I mean, that's the problem with when you... Kind of like what Akira Toriyama did, but remember, Akira Toriyama definitely wanted to end it.
But the guy with Naruto, he wanted to continue. I guess he tried to rewrite, which is why
he wrote himself in a corner, making these guys so powerful. But then, when you continue, you can't make these. If you have these guys as they're gods, then there's no threat.
Yeah, so I think that's the big problem with the whole Naruto series.
Also, the end of Naruto, I hated how he became it was basically a giant kaiju fight every single time.
Oh yeah,
because like Sasuke can summon that like archer thing, and Naruto summoned the fox. I was trying to
finish it up, but I still can't finish it.
It gets bad. It's not about ninjas anymore.
Noted. And then Ishikai smartphone is my next one.
I know nothing about this. This is all Eugene.
So this is how you make a boring ass overpowered piece of shit. You have a guy who has basically no defects. His abilities, if he knows how a magic even remotely works, he can use that magic. He doesn't even have to look at it. He just has to know about it, and he can just do it. And so, like, because of that, I was like, wait, what's the appeal of this?
Yeah.
Like, what?
So he's a Mary Sue and overpowered.
Yes. So, like, it's like, oh, look, I found a tome. Oh, wait, you have healing in this world? I could use a healing power now. I could cure any disease. And so because it becomes like really stupid, like everybody has super like I understand like if your character is overpowered on one thing, you had to work it for or something like that.
Yeah,
which is why I like the Sage Mode Naruto. But like when it's just like, oh look, I just got reborn in this world and the god just gave me this power and that's it. It comes incredibly stupid, and I hate that.
Yeah,
it's like I decided to see, I heard it was bad, so I decided to watch it just for this. Oh my god! I wanted to kill myself. Like I had to skip through it to see what it was like, and it's like, oh shit, that character was written badly. Saitama, like overpowered, right? Written well.
Yeah.
Goku, Frieza, written well in this case.
Yeah.
Naruto at the start, written well, like. And then this happens, like, oh, you're overpowered because you died and the god gave you that ability?
Yeah.
It was destined to fail in the first place.
Yeah, that's probably, that sounds like the reason why I wasn't a fan of Sasuke in the Naruto universe, because it seems like everything was just given to him.
Yeah, that's why I don't like Sasuke, right? I think he's badly written because of that. I mean, maybe not at first.
Yeah, like the difference between Sasuke and Vegeta, because they're kind of like the same person, like whatever, the rival, whatever. Vegeta earns everything. He's always like working his ass off.
He worked his ass off.
Even though he's a royal blood and he talks about how he's an elite Saiyan, and because of that he should be more powerful. He works his butt off. All he does is train.
All he does is destroy planets, remember?
Yeah.
So technically he is training, but destroying planets. So he does actually work his ass off. Like, the one thing that I did like about Vegeta is that, like, when Goku got his like Super Saiyan God form, it's kind of like given.
Yeah.
And Vegeta somehow just did it on his own.
Yeah.
Off camera, but though.
Yeah, Vegeta's such a badass that he'll work his ass off to catch up to
Goku. And he does it, which is why I like him a lot.
Yeah.
But, like, I hate it when they start doing this shit.
Yeah.
This is like the worst shit. Like I said, the silver Superman.
Silver Age Superman.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what I've got.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on to the video games.
Video games? Alright.
Video games. So we actually have a very different list when it comes to video games, which is always good. I'll start with one of mine.
Alright.
Let's see, I'm pulling my list off. Let's talk about Galen Merrick.
Galen Merrick?
Yeah, it's kind of... it's always my thing. It's almost like kind of cheating. Galen Merrick was the protagonist of the video game series The Force Unleashed.
Oh, yeah. I actually was thinking about putting him on the list. I couldn't remember his name.
He's the secret apprentice of Darth Vader. He's trained by Darth Vader. He becomes more powerful than Darth Vader because he beats him in a fight. And then he beats the Emperor in a fight.
I mean, in that world, the Emperor's like, and Darth Vader are both overpowered as shit.
And this video game character you play as... the only one person who could
defeat him later would be Luke Skywalker, meaning that there's only one person that's stronger than them at that point, that you know.
And Galen Merrick does this, and also he basically uses the Force and tears down a Star Destroyer from the sky. He uses the Force and tears it down. A Star Destroyer is like the size of a freaking planet almost. He basically moves it with the Force. Like, that's overpowered as shit.
I mean, like I said, the fact that he can defeat Vader should tell you how strong he really is.
Yeah, he's super duper powerful. He's unbeatable. Like, all these Jedi Masters lose to him. Vader loses to him. So he's overpowered in the video game concept. I mean, he's kind of overpowered in the Star Wars universe as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, he's overpowered in that sense.
The only person who can almost reach the levels of Mary Sue or overpoweredness is Rey, but that's another discussion.
That's you're not wrong.
So that's my number one, or not my number one, but my first choice when it came to the video games.
I guess in this list, for now, would be Arceus or Arceus.
I have no idea how to say his name. I always call him. I always said Arceus. It's the Pokemon.
Yeah, but he's literally God in that world. That's pretty much it. He created everything.
Yeah. So yeah, he's the God of creation in the Pokemon universe. Yeah. All Pokemon come from him.
So and Pokemon are pretty busted when you think about them in real life. But that's another. Oh, that'd be a fun episode.
That'd be a fun episode. Like,
talk about Pokemon and how they would do in real life.
Yeah, especially based on the descriptions you get from your Pokedex.
Yeah, you would not be able to stand next to Charizard. I don't know if you know about that. His tail is hot enough to melt you just standing next to him.
Oh, because it can melt stone or something ridiculous like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a lot of ridiculous stuff in Pokemon.
Yeah, I think should we do it next week?
Maybe.
Actually, that one requires actual episode and the actual map.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, Arceus, obviously, Arceus,
he's obviously the most broken Pokemon.
Yeah.
And like, even in the game, I hear he's really good too.
Yeah,
because how his typing works.
Yeah, he's pretty interesting in the game. So yeah, I agree. He's definitely in the game universe sense. He's definitely overpowered.
He's definitely overpowered. And I guess my next one on this list would be the Prince from Katamari.
Yeah, I get this.
Everyone should understand this after saying that. Like, the guy literally rolls planets around at one point.
Yeah, it starts small, then eventually he can just like roll
over planets. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the ability to basically roll anything into a ball makes you
overpowered. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's part of the gameplay. He is definitely overpowered.
Yeah.
And there's not much to really say about him because really they don't have any personalities besides they like to roll stuff into a ball.
Yeah, he's definitely overpowered. My next list is kind of like the Frieza of video games.
Oh?
Sephiroth.
He definitely is pretty overpowered in the series.
And his series, he literally just can destroy the planet in his series.
He's trying to, yeah.
He can summon a meteor
to destroy the entire planet. Yeah.
So he's very powerful. In every game he's in, he's always seen as like a super powerful boss. Like, he's never like
an okay powered.
Yeah, he's always overpowered and everything. He kills someone in Final Fantasy VII, which is kind of like,
we won't say,
but that doesn't show off how powerful he is, but it kind of shows like This boss means business.
Yeah, he'll just flat out kill people.
He's super powerful. He can literally destroy planets in a universe where, in the Final Fantasy VII universe, it's a little bit more grounded than the other universes.
Yeah, but they also have like these big mecha machines that can take on armies, and you're able to do that.
Yeah.
But Sephiroth can take all of you at once. This is the whole
Yeah,
story thing.
Sephiroth is super OP.
I mean, the only reason that you ever take Sephiroth, like, in an actual storyline is that you had a party with you.
And it's been a while, but isn't like Sephiroth basically like a created version of the Earth or whatever, the energy? He's literally
it's a long
born.
story. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's literally born. It's confusing, but basically he's like...
And then Cloud storyline's confusing, which you had to make another game on.
Yeah, so, yeah, Sephiroth, definitely overpowered. I guess you could put kind of Cloud in that sense, in a way.
Because they are technically the same thing in this case.
Yeah, although Cloud's like inferior, you know how that usually works.
Yeah. He's like the younger, inferior brother.
Yeah, so... yeah, I put Sephiroth on there because, like, especially when you're younger playing Final Fantasy VII and you see what Sephiroth is capable of, you're like, oh shit, that guy's strong.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other more powerful Final Fantasy characters like Kefka or whatever his name is, that clown god of destruction.
I don't want to say he's the most powerful. He's also just wickedly smart too in this series.
Yeah.
So like the fact that he's got everything going for him, which is something different instead of just being just flat out powerful. I mean, he is powerful. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why I mentioned Sephiroth. Plus he's it's a character that we've all seen or know. Most people know about Sephiroth. So.
Yeah, and I guess the one that's next on my list is Meta Knight.
Yeah, this is for a different reason.
he's overpowered for a different reason. And I guess I'll put this also on the list too because it's the same reason. Is Akuma from Street Fighter 2. Not the other games he's in, because the other games he's balanced.
Yeah.
And so, I guess I'll start with Akuma, because my mind's on him right now.
Okay.
Is, in Street Fighter 2, he was supposed to be like a hidden boss character, and so you weren't actually supposed to play correct as him, but, they released him as a secret character so you could play him. But the game was not balanced around him, so he's got like this air Hadouken, which, in that game, you had no way around it, because they didn't even think about that being a thing, because everybody's Hadouken was on the ground.
So basically, this introduction of Akuma broke the game.
Yeah, because like it wasn't meant to deal... The characters weren't meant to balance around that. Everything had like a rhyme or reason.
Yeah. So he's broken for mechanics, not for like his lore or story.
I mean, he is broken in the story too.
Yeah, he's like a more powerful version of Ryo's
master.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so... Yeah, I mean, like, then he just broken the game. And Meta Knight's also broken well, and that game is lots of reasons. Big hitbox, no lag, fast attacks, whatever you want to do.
He's purely broken for mechanical reasons, not in-universe reasons or anything like that.
Yeah, not in universe reasons. Charizard's fucking broken universe reason.
Yeah. Speaking of it, Meta Knight, one of my characters is Kirby, in universe reasons.
You're not incorrect.
The guy can literally suck... Well, hold on, there's a better way to put it. He can suck off anyone. He can suck on anyone. Wait, no. He can inhale it. No. He can gulp down. Oh, he can gulp down loads of men. No.
Semen?
There's a way to say this non-sexually. He opens his mouth and inhales a large amount of men. No. He can eat anything. How about that? His power is like he can eat. He can
just vacuum up people.
Vacuum. That's a better word than suck. He can vacuum up people, eat them, and absorb their power. Just about anyone. You're walking around, and Kirby opens up his black hole of a mouth. You go flying inside of him.
I mean, here's the thing, right? He just flat out kills people. Like what happened? No, what happened to him?
Or he farts them out or throws them up.
Yeah, I know, right? But like, you think about like, he just sucks some random pedestrian, just like swallows them, and
he sucks some random pedestrian. Hold on, you gotta say that sexy. He sucks some random pedestrian.
I mean, if it helps, he's also very pink and kind of squishy.
Oh yeah, he's very pink and squishy as he sucks a random pedestrian.
He's got giant balls.
He has giant balls, so he sucks. He inhales, vacuums things, and he gains their powers. So it's not bad enough he literally kills someone by eating them. He takes their powers.
Yeah.
So imagine Superman trying to fight Kirby in universe. Kirby opens up his black hole of mouth. Superman goes flying in, and now Kirby has the powers of Superman, and Superman's dead.
I mean, if Superman ever gets in there, Superman is definitely dead.
So
If Saitama gets in there, he's definitely dead according to Kirby.
Yeah, so that's why I put Kirby, of all people, as one of the most overpowered game characters.
But Kirby with an ability to suck if anyone actually enters his mouth.
Yeah, depending on the lore, because obviously I don't think Kirby, you can't suck in, suck off. There's definitely better ways to put it.
Vacuum?
God, if Kirby could suck off any villain, he'd be so overpowered. No, if Kirby could suck in any bosses, he'd be overpowered. He can't do that to bosses.
Yeah, mechanically he's limited, luckily.
Yeah, only everything else.
Yeah, any honorable mention you want to put on this list too? Now,
Asura from Asura's Wrath.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
That game is
the angrier he gets, the stronger
he's like the Hulk, but does more crazy shit than the Hulk.
I forget, the final scene, he's, fighting it in space, and...
He fights against someone that's more giant than the Earth. His finger covers up, an entire state or whatever, and he, tries to smash with a finger, and Asura's able to stop it.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, it's just, you have to play... The game's balls to the walls crazy.
I love how balls to the walls crazy is, but I hate the fact that, you had to buy the DLC to get the actual ending.
Yeah, plus it's very QTE heavy, so if you're not... But, I mean, it's not meant to be, a challenging game. It's meant to be a fun, crazy, over-the-top game.
Yeah, it definitely is, but
yeah, he takes on crazy stuff. He's super powerful. He takes on demigods and the like. So
he takes on gods.
Yeah, I mean, in the same sense, I guess you can put Kratos on that list too.
Yeah,
God of War, I'd put him as an honorable mention.
Any honorable mentions in the non-Sequitur stuff or everything else?
Let's see, the non...
Because I just thought of one, and they're definitely powerful for their universe.
Okay, who?
Vash and Knives.
Vasho the Stampedo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very unique in the sense that they can blow up the planet, or blow up the moon. I guess they can blow up the planet. They don't really get how strong they can get.
Well, he destroyed the moon.
But he did destroy the moon, yeah.
That's what got him his bounty.
Yeah, his bounty. But they both can do its thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, they are, in their universe, very overpowered.
But in any other universe, they're probably not.
But they're done right,
Yeah, they're definitely done right.
Especially Vash because of his...
Creed. He's overpowered, but he doesn't...
Kill.
So, he does not even kill an enemy trying to kill him.
He's a gunslinger, a guy with guns that doesn't kill. So, imagine how much that gimps you when you can't kill with a gun.
His durability is the same as a human, too. His offensive power is not human level, but his durability is.
Yeah,
he gets shot he gets hit like everyone else.
Yeah, he gets shot. I believe he can heal slightly faster, but it's not like you can get shot in the head. And he's gonna heal from that. He'll die.
He'll die.
Because there's a scene in the anime and I think in the manga too where you see him without a shirt.
Yep. And you see how much damage he's taken.
Yeah. So also he ages super duper slow. Yeah, because he's I can't remember how old he is in the manga. It's different in the manga than the anime.
I think in the manga he's 300 years old.
I think so.
Something like
that. He's older than the planet itself, and the planet's
Well, technically the planet's probably older.
The civilization. He's older than the civilization because he's a part of it's hard to explain the founding civilization.
He is definitely older than the current civilization.
So he's old. I can see him, and we're putting him in the good category, overpowered in a good way.
And this is the honorable mentions for everything. You know that really can't talk about it, but you do think they're overpowered.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So before we end, let's talk about. We kind of want to talk about Mary Sue versus Overpowered.
Yeah, go for it.
Because we've been using that word a lot, Mary Sue. So when we talk about Overpowered, we're talking specifically abilities, mostly. Mostly capabilities. Yeah. He's so strong. He's so fast. What the difference between Overpowered and Mary Sue is Mary Sue means that they are perfect in every way, not just what their powers can do, but how they're always right.
There's nothing actually wrong about them.
Yeah, there's no flaws. That's not the.
I guess it's not part, but that's part of it.
The literal definition of Mary Sue is basically when the author self-inserts themselves and basically makes a character based on them. And so, of course, if you ever played any Dungeons and Dragons game and you have the dungeon master create a special villain or character for the party,
or a hero that just solves everything for you,
you know he's going to make that character OP. And it's the same thing that happens in comics or manga or
I think that's what happens.
And he's able to solve everything. He's able to do everything. That's a Mary Sue. Rey in the Star Wars movies is a Mary Sue. She has no flaws. She's able to learn how to use the Force immediately.
It took Luke like a whole movie.
It took Luke 2 whole movies before he could do anything that she could do in the first movie. He could not use the Jedi mind trick until the Return of the Jedi.
I mean, the thing, only say one movie because he technically didn't start the training till the second movie.
That's true. But yeah, Rey is definitely Mary Sue because of how quickly she learned to use the Force, and she can use a Jedi mind trick without ever seeing it, and that's a Jedi master trick that you have to like train for. It took Luke.
I mean, the thing is, even though it took one movie for Luke, you knew how long he was on there because like how time.
Luke's first time fighting against the big bad, he loses. Rey's first time fighting against the big bad, she wins.
I mean, you felt how useless Luke was.
Yeah,
like the first movie was to set up how useless he was.
Yeah, Luke was a whiny bitch in the first movie until the very end when he shot a lucky shot thanks to his master, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I mean, I guess technically 2 movies, but his real training starts in the second movie.
So the Dagobah system with Yoda, and then Yoda was like punking him out the entire time.
Yeah.
Yoda's like, you fail because you suck, Luke. And Luke's like, why? And he's like, my maybe sister's in trouble. I gotta go save her so I can make babies with her.
But you also know that Luke was there for a really long time.
Yeah, he trained there for like at least
I think it was like
couple months.
Couple months in the story, yeah.
So yeah, he trained. Anyway, so that's different to Mary Sue. Mary Sue is someone who's perfect in a bad way.
I think it's like that when when I brought out smartphone, like he just gave him the ability.
Yeah, he doesn't earn it. He doesn't have any flaws. Yeah. He's just perfect.
He's just perfect, and it's like wow.
And that's a Mary Sue. Sometimes when it's a female, it's called a Mary Sue. Technically, when it's a male, they say a Gary Stu.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, because it started with female characters because a lot of female authors wanted to empower themselves.
Oh yeah.
So then they realized, hey, men do it too. We got to be equal. We'll call them Gary Stews. But everyone just uses the word Mary Sue. So just about winding down. Let's do a quick. This is like an opinion piece. Do you think Mary Sue's can ever be done well?
No.
You think inherently Mary Sue's?
I think inherently Mary Sue's can't work out well. Like, there's no way to really feel relatable to him because he feels so perfect. Mm-hmm. You either feel like something's off and you can't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost like it's
like the perfect Barbie. Like you saw the perfect Barbie doll in real life.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, I can't really.
Yeah, my life shit. How come they got everything put together? I mean, at least with like other characters, like their life goes to shit occasionally,
right? And you could relate to that easily. But like, because everyone always has something stupid come out their life.
Yeah. So yeah,
they're all good. Yeah.
I'm going to agree with Eugene on this one. I'm going to say Mary Sue's inherently just can't be good.
This can't be good. I mean, like, I guess you could do it in a comical way, maybe?
Let me put it this way. If you like a Mary Sue, odds are that you're self-inserting yourself into that character.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Because I've heard people go, oh, man, my favorite character is Hermione from Harry Potter. It's like, she's a Mary Sue, right? She literally has the answer for everything.
Like I said, like I think maybe the only real way to write a good one is it's supposed to be a comedy. It's not...
Yeah, like One Punch Man is... Well, he's not a Mary Sue.
He's not Mary Sue.
He has a lot of flaws.
He definitely has a lot of flaws. But I'm saying, like... I'm trying to think if there is one.
Yeah.
But, like, I guess if we find something like that, we should probably talk about it or look over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll update if I can think of, like, next episode. I'll be like, oh, yeah, I found one. But...
Yeah, like a good one. And like I said, I think the only way you could do that is to make a comedy about it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make fun of it.
Yeah, you have to make fun of it.
Yeah, so...
In fact, I think I might know one now thinking about it.
What?
I have to check the show out again. I don't remember the show name.
Okay.
I just now thought of it.
So, in conclusion, overpowered characters can be good. Most of them can be, if done right.
Yeah. I mean, like, the thing is, they have to be done right.
Yeah.
You know what I hate worse, more than anything?
You mean when